list. Okay, it's not like a real ban list. It's for character deck duels. Now, I have played a significant amount of character deck duels. I'm excited to see what they're adding to the pool. It turns out there's a lot. Okay. New cards available to use. Effect Veiler. Holy shit. That's a huge fucking deal. That's an enormous deal. Wow. Okay. So a lot of implications for this. Firstly, there's a significant amount of cards that are now just fucking awful. Veiler on Gaga Girl is like the end of the game, right? I guess you could make a 4 still, but you've got a Gaga sister just chilling on your side of the field. There's no way to play around it because there's not a Lance for Veiler. Wow. Veiler's also searchable in the Kaiba deck, which is already a top deck. That's crazy. I can't believe this is in the game. Holy shit. Next up, Doppel Warrior. I like this card a lot. I like the inclusion of guys for the Synchro deck a lot. I think Yusei's deck is one of the ones that could be really interesting, but it's currently hamstrung by the fact that you are just designed to get to Stardust. Like, what does the deck do? It makes Stardust. Any sort of flexibility would be great for that deck, and as we'll see as we go down the new cards available to use, there's a lot of flexibility it now gets. Speaking of, Stardust Spark Dragon. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Really good to see this card. I really prefer it over just farting out Stardust over and over again. Silver's Cry. That's an interesting one. Just a very interesting one, actually. I don't know how I feel about that. So this card is definitely playable in the Blue Eyes deck. It will see play in the Blue Eyes deck, probably as a one-of. Needle Sealing. That is very interesting. Wow. So a board wipe is pretty impressive, and it shockingly gives Hero and Red Eyes something to do. Because both of those decks like to make one big guy that resists destruction, sort of, and then set a face-down guy, because their terrible fusion spells lock them into doing so. So you can easily get into a situation where your opponent extends 2 guys onto the field to perform an Xyz or a Synchro Summon, and you just get to 2-for-1 them. I like it. I like its existence. I think it's pretty niche. Warning Point! Whoa! Wow, this card is unthinkable for character duels. This is the best trap in the format, bar none. Oh my god. Holy shit. Well, think how many people were already playing cards like a Fiendish Chain. This is the same thing, but way better. Okay, all right. Burst Stream of Destruction, not competent, but fun to have in there. Mistworm and Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. I love seeing extra Synchro monsters thrown into the pool. It's unfortunate we can see there's no Xyz monsters. Those would have helped a lot. But both of these are great. Moonlight specifically gives the Blue Eyes deck something else to tag into, which is interesting. Cyber Dragon Noxter is honestly kind of embarrassing that they didn't ship Zane's Cyber Dragon deck with both Noxter and Hertz, which you can see we have now. Drill Synchron and Turbo Synchron for Drill Warrior and Turbo Warrior. Not super excited for these two in particular, but I am super excited for Drill Warrior. I think this card is fantastic, and I'd love to see if some decks are willing to do the quick draw Synchron thing to make this guy. And finally, World Legacy Clash, another exceptionally powerful piece of back row that I think is really, really, really at home in this format. It's a way that you don't get OTK'd, and it all but ensures that you will have follow-up, because you will be able to get the monster that is banished back without having to lose it to combat. I love this card. I'm super, super happy to see it. All in all, these are really frightening cards to be putting into the game. It's mostly focused on upgrades to Yusei's deck, to Zane's deck, and to Kaiba's deck, which is strange to me because Zane and Kaiba's deck are pretty obviously two of the best things in the format. Shocking to see those get better while decks like Joey and Jaden just languish. There's also a Forbidden and Limited List update. It doesn't look like anything's banned, which is good. So we're gonna have Apprentice Illusion Magician moving from 1 to 2. That's okay. In fact, it's surprising it was ever a 1. This card is for Yugi, and it's all right. Red Eyes Fang with Chain. Oh, that's a big deal, actually. Red Eyes Fang with Chain going to 3 is actually an enormous deal. So this is a piece of back row for the Red Eyes deck that is very findable, courtesy of Red Eyes Insight. It's the other good thing you can search off Red Eyes Insight. Frequently, you'll open a hand with Fusion and Insight, and you're like, God, I wish I could do something with it. Setting this in the back row automatically wins you a game against a significant amount of the field. This is like the power play for the deck, and only having 1 was a disaster. Having 3 is a big deal. I'm like really excited. That's a huge, huge buff. Wow, okay. Wandering King Wildwind has been moved from unlimited to limited 3. I guess that makes sense. This card was really powerful, of course, in the Jack Atlas deck, but not so much that it needs to be taken out behind the shed. That deck is just really, really explosive. It's one of those situations where like hits on the periphery might actually do something. Gagaga Sister to limited 3. That's odd. Is there another limited 3 in the Yuma deck? I don't think so. Okay, moving on. Hallowed Life Barrier to unlimited. Oh, that's like a big problem. Huh. Yeah, this is the card that if you had asked me what I wanted to see banned from the format, it would be Hallowed Life Barrier. Like, this is the most frustrating card in the format by a large margin. The fact that not every deck has access to it is so irritating because it means you only have to play around it when you're playing against 2 decks that, by the way, are some of the best in format. For some reason, Onomat and Blue Eyes get this card. I thought it was fine at 2. I would have preferred it at 1 or at 0. Why move it to 3? What the fuck? Valor to 1? Oh, okay. Well, fuck me. We talked about Valor all the time. It's just a 1 of. Needle Sealing to 3 and World Legacy Clash to 3. That seems like the right place for both Clash and Needle Sealing. Huh. Well, excited to see what comes from this. My estimation is that Blue Eyes is probably best deck in format with these changes. I would expect Cyber Dragon to also be exceptionally powerful, but Cyber Dragon already has no problem getting to its fusions, which is what like Noxter and Hertz facilitate. The problem with it is all it can do is like make Rampage over and over again. So kind of frustrating they didn't give it anything else to do. Appreciate the increased flexibility for the Yusei deck, but the difference of having Drill Warrior, I don't think is the difference between it being bad and good. Yeah, that's it.